Hi, Josh Barker with RE/MAX Town & Country Real Estate, and thank you for checking out our market update for the month of May 2019. You know, like I like to do each month, let's go ahead and bring in the sales report for last month here on the multiple listing service. You know, what's great about this report is that it breaks down sales activity by price range. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the bottom, and I'll circle this for you in red. There were 251 properties that closed escrow last month in the multiple listing service. Now, if you go back just 1 year ago to the same month, there was 287 that have closed escrow. So we're down just over 12% over last year. Now, I mentioned this last month, but the big reason why our sales volume slowed down is because we actually had a lot of crazy weather in that first quarter of this year, and it caused fewer homes to get listed for sale, and in turn, fewer buyers were out searching for homes. So I'm not surprised to see that kind of report at this time. The next thing to look at, though, is our active listings for sale. Currently, we're trending at 901 properties for sale right now in the multiple listing service. I'm going to circle this for you in red. Last year, there was 1,023 on the market at the same time. Okay, so that means our inventories are down by just over 10% compared to last year. Again, a big reason for that is because of the weather we had at the beginning of the year. Here's some evidence of that. If you look at the new listings to the market in the month of April, we were at 529 new listings to the market last month. Go back 1 year ago, 449. So in April, because the weather was improving, we started seeing more listings come to the market, more so than even last year. I expect that to be the trend for this month and the month of May as well. So that's good news for buyers because there'll be more homes to choose from. It also indicates that the sales in the market are still remaining strong. You know, the next topic I wanted to talk about, and I'm sure some of you as listeners have heard this lately too, but we've seen more people mentioning moving out of state. Okay, so out of California, up and down the state, we've seen more and more people moving out of the state. Some of the hottest markets that we've seen folks moving to have been Idaho, they've been going to Texas, Nevada, Arizona, and in some cases they're going in other places in the Southwest. What's interesting though is if you look at the appreciation in those particular markets, those destination markets, the appreciation last year on average averaged over 10%. That's how much those markets were appreciating, when California was averaging around 3.5%. What's happening now though is because home prices in those destination markets have gone up. In many cases, buyers that are searching in these new destination markets are realizing that home prices are very similar to what they are here locally, and we're expecting that will likely cause home buyers or home sellers to slow down, at least the ones that are moving out of state. We see that slowing down a little bit, primarily because you're not going to have the same purchasing power that you had just a year ago. And then finally, last thing to talk about was just our actual real estate activity, appreciation, and sales cycle each year. You know, each year we track, what the market, how it performs, and it's pretty predictable here locally. For example, what you can expect is in the month of April is when our home market here in Shasta County, that's when it typically begins to pick up in both sales and appreciation. And then what happens is that by late summer, we start to see our home price appreciation begin to plateau off. Going into the early holiday months, you start to see prices kind of soften a little bit. And it stays that way all the way up and through about the beginning of March each year. And then of course in April, when homes come back up on the market at higher frequency, most of those prices resemble what home prices were in November of the year before. And then of course, if the market's strong, you're going to see that same type of cycle take place again. Where we see things change that or have an impact on that normal cycle, if you will, would be is the availability of homes for sale. Okay, so if for some reason there was a disruption in the housing market, like last year we had fires here that had an impact on buyer demand, it caused our market to stay strong for the whole year. That's a good example of an impact on housing. The second part of it though could be availability of financing. If lenders change lending requirements, that could have an impact on the market. And then finally, of course, would be interest rates. Interest rates moving quickly in one direction or another could affect the market. But if you had normal characteristics in a market, the cycle I described to you just a minute ago would be pretty typical. So in any case, thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video today. And like always, if you have any questions, we're always here to help. Thanks again for your time today. Make it a great day.